Connie, how was the tour itself? Hey, good day everyone. So today we are at Woodford Reserve Distillery. So we're going to be doing a distillery tour where we learn how these guys are making their, I believe it's bourbon or whiskey. It's one of the two. We're not sure. So we're going to spend about an hour and a half on this tour and take you guys along. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it as much as we can. I know you won't enjoy it as much because you don't get to have the little taste test afterward, but we'll let you know how it goes.
So in 1964, Congress passed the Native Distilled Spirits Act. With that, they put laws and regulations into place, not just for bourbon whiskey, for all spirits. And this was to regulate the way we could make things and what we could offer to you guys as consumers. It is important to remember, all bourbon is a whiskey, but not all whiskey can be considered a bourbon. And these laws are what puts that saying into place. So what does the dominant grain need to be? Corn, absolutely. Your mash bill has to be made up of at least 51% corn. You have to age your bourbon in a new oak charred container. Now that does not have to be a barrel or American white oak. That gets confused a lot. Just needs to be new, oak, and charred on the inside. Now we do use American white oak barrels, but what we do differently is before we char our barrels, we introduce them to a radiant heat and toast them. By doing so, we are forcing all of the wood sugars within the staves to be brought way up here to the surface. So that we do char, caramelizing more of those wood sugars and less of that wood. I'll pass around this stave for you guys to take a look at. If you look on the side, you'll be able to see where the bourbon is actually soaked in. So what you have in front of you. On the left on the stave is Woodford Reserve's Distillers Select. On your right on the stave is Woodford Reserve's Double Oaked. Smack dab in the middle on the napkin, world famous Ruth Hunt's Bourbon Ball. Inside this bourbon ball is made using our Distillers Select. They're world famous for a reason, and that's what we'll do our food pairing with here in a second. Get what you know is maple syrup butterscotch.
Alright, so we just finished up our tour and tasting. So now we're going to do the first ever interview with Akane. How was the tour?
It was pretty good. I thought we can see lots of stuff, but pretty short tour. And yeah, and tasting also pretty few amount. I was expecting we can have more.
So this is my first time being at one. So for me, it seemed very complete. Like it showed, you know, how it's made, where it's processed, the bottling, and then finally we got to do the finished product taste testing. So there were two of the bourbons that we got to try, as well as a bourbon chocolate, which was very good. So each little glass had, I don't know, maybe 2 inches worth of liquor in it, so it's enough for, well, they want you to have 3 sips per glass.
So it was right amount for tasting?
Yeah, it was the right amount for tasting, I would say.
Okay.
Gave you enough to, they talked about the flavors that we're supposed to see, and you could definitely taste the barrel, like the old.
Which one did you prefer?
I kind of like the first one better.
Yeah, me too. Like second one is good flavor, like sweet or
so
something.
The second one was a double barrel one, it's more processed. So usually they take the first one, and then that has been aged from 5 to 10 years, and then they redo the process in a different barrel, and this one adds more flavors. But I actually, even though it's probably the more expensive one, I didn't like it as much. Maybe it's because I'm not like a bourbon or whiskey drinker. Maybe it's just I don't appreciate it as much. But
it was very dry for me.
Yes, and that's one thing that they talked about, is that the older one, or the more processed one, I should say, was a bit drier. Akane,
Yes.
are you ready for 2 more distillery tours tomorrow?
I think so. I'm really excited to go Jim Beam.
Yeah.
It's one of popular whiskey in Japan, so.
Japan, is that where you're from?
Japan.
I tease her all the time about Japan not being a real place. Only because I've never been there, so therefore I cannot confirm that it's a real place. Alright guys, if you liked the video, let me know by hitting that thumbs up. It'd be fantastic if you would subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of fun things like this, and of course we're always traveling to new and exciting locations. So I hope to see you in the next one, and I will be there. I hope you will too. Hey, good day everyone. So today we are at Woodford. What are we at? Woodford what?